This is Daf Yerushalmi Terumos. The article holds the other edition. We are right at the top. It's Tzadi Daled on Alf, Halacha Daled, and that is at the bottom of Nun Beis Amud Aleph in the Vilna, which also, remarkably enough, is Halacha Daled. And our learning should be a source for our mitzvah and our eighth sorrow. Says the Mishnah, Says the Chulin Shechavshan im Zeisei Truma. Have olives of Chulin, which you pickled, you soaked together with Truma olives. Ptsue Chulin im Ptsue Truma. This is the olives which are cracked. Ptsue Chulin im Shlema Truma, whether it is cracked whole Chulin olives with cracked Truma olives, cracked Chulin olives with whole Truma olives, or made Truma, or even in Truma water. In other words, you soaked olives of Chulin in olives which previously soaked Truma. After you remove the Truma or olives, Aser. That's forbidden. In other words, so the taste of Truma to penetrate the Chulin. Have a Shleme Chulin, but if you have whole olives of Chulin, in between Truma with cracked olives of Truma Mutter, it's permissible because the whole olives are impervious to the Truma penetrating. Okay, says the Umara, Rabbi Yoina. It says, Zosim has to teach us Petsuin, cracked olives, bowling upoltin. They absorb and then they emit. V'chosim bowling and then they absorb again. Shleimim, whole olives, bowling, they absorb, upoltin, and they emit. The shuv ain't bowling, and they don't absorb again. So it's interesting. Gemara felt it has to explain it this way, that the psuim absorb whatever water soaks into them, and in order to give a tam l'shvach, otherwise it's just water, right? This be what that it gets absorbed, and then it gets emitted again. And therefore the now nosin tam l'shvach truma taste is emitted, and then they absorb, and therefore they become usher. So the psuin, are bowling, the truma is boleh, upoltin, and emits, and chosin bowling, and then it's boleh again, because both the truma and chulin had to be polate, and then the chulin obviously was boleh. Same on the other hand, bowling, upoltin have taken the water in order to give it a good taste, but then they don't reabsorb it, and that's why if you have the ptsue truma with shleim chulin, it remains mutter. Okay, damara. So this teaches us lo l'shvach lo l'b'gam aser. Well, the Mishnah says that the zeisi truma aser zeisi chulin, even though it seems to be the same taste. They're both olives, right? So it's even a taste which is received, which is neither mashbiach nor pogim, because it's precisely the same taste. It's aser, right? Masis Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Shimon man nosi tam of gam aser. Our Mishnah would seem to be going like Rabbi Shimon, who holds nosi tam of gam is aser. So the person asking the question is kind of holds that if it aser is tam shein l'shvach, so also tam begam shvi aser. It's kind of like a half empty look, right? It's something which is neither tam l'shvach tam begam aser must see that knows the tam begam also asers. So not sure how we know that this is. We don't know. We don't. The word itself is no. We don't know how Rabbi Shimon holds this way. So the but we're assuming for some reason it's Rabbi Shimon. So it says more of how Rabbi Shimon Amar next time begam mutter. I know Rabbi Shimon himself say next time begam is mutter. It's a brisa previously on Halacha Aleph. So the Gemara answers Chada. Rabbi Shimon. It's like this. Rabbi Shimon. Omer kruv shel shakya, sheshalkom kruv shel baal asim neishu boleh. Yeah, it says you're right. I didn't mean to say Rabbi Shimon holds thus the tam begam is aser Shimon holds that nosin tam livgam. Shimon does hold nosin tam is mutter. Nevertheless, if it's not lishvrach or not livgam, it's also asr, because only pogum is matir. And that we find in the Mishnah later on, in the Parak, Mishnah Aleph, which says, the Shimon says that if you cook cabbage of truma with cabbage of chulin, it asks even though they are of equivalent taste. What so the why they're called the shakyo bal, that's going to be explained. But the asers, even if it's not l'shvach not l'vgam. So enechanami, we don't know. Reb Shimon doesn't aser nostam l'vgam itself, but Yas is something which is neutral. Tanya Rabbi Bar Pazi b'shem Rabbi b'shem Bar Dlaya. Also the Girsa in the it's not. Here we have. Let's see that the Kabanoki goes on without the next Mishnah. He puts things, well, obviously, where he, first, Gemara after the next Mishnah, he puts before the Mishnah. But I guess we'll go in order of the Gemara as we have it in front of us in the Vilna, the article. And so we're going to Lachei first. Dag Tame. Shekovshin Dag Tor. If you have a fish which is Tame, which was soaked with fish which is Tor, Kogov Shumachsik Saim, any container which holds 200. Im yesh mishka asar zuz b'yudashay chamesh sloim begalil. So if you have we're talking about that you have here a birya. The daktame is a birya. So therefore asks to close to 1,000. So a chavis, a jug of 200. 200 has a mishka asar zuz of ziners. Ziner, it says here in the Mishnah. Zuze. And the which is 2 sela and a half, which 5 sela in the galil. That is one. The ones I'll explain. And so that's 1/960th. Then it's okay, because this is a famous Yerushalmi, one of the most famous Yerushalmis, I think, that a birya is batel in 1/960th. I'm telling you, there's a whole cheshbon based on the Yam Shasa Shleim based on Mikdash, how that's batel 960. I'll have to look it up when we get to it. But in any event, the Dag Tome, Zero also. Dag Tome, it's brine is also. You don't bear Revius, but Sosayim. Revius in Sosayim, which is 192. Second. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Echel Mishisho Asababo. He says he's only 1/16 is batel, because it's like water, just like water, and therefore it is it's batel less. Okay, so the next Mishnah, Chalacha, which is Mishnah Tes, Chagim Tmeim, Tame locust, which were soaked together with tar locust, they don't passel the brine. Hey, Rabbi Tzadok, Chagim Tmeim, Shutar. Rabbi Tzadok went a step further. He said that the brine of Chagim Tmeim is tar. I mean, you can even eat it. And the words I was going to explain how it could possibly be tar. Okay, so now it says the Gemara. Tani. Rabbi Bar Pasi b'shem Bar Dlaya. Uh, Dag says Dagdar Tafel Shkoshin Dag Tame Maliach Osler. Not sure whether Kavanaki has it before the Mishnah. You have Dag Tahar, which is not salted, which is soaked with Dag Tame, which is salted. Osler, obviously, salt causes, I guess, like the olives. I don't know. Anyway, it causes the taste of the tame fish to penetrate the kosher fish. But Rabbi Chia Medicham Mutter. Rabbi Chia teaches you can rinse the kosher fish and it's okay. And Ramana Mandamar Mutter, that which says Mutter, B'shekav Shon Shtein Achas, that they were both soaked together. So initially they both absorb and only afterwards emit, and then they don't absorb anymore. So the whole fish. So when the tame is polate, it's emitting the so now this way what's by the olives, because it says when the tame, since it's a whole, the tame is polate, and then it doesn't the tar is polate, it doesn't reabsorb. It's a whole fish, just like the whole Zeise Chulin, with the Zeise Truma, even the Ptsuim, it's not Bolea. So to here, the same thing, the Dag Maluach is like the Zeise Ptsuim, and the Dag Tar is like the Zeise Chulin, which are Shlemim, and therefore it's not a problem. Manima also, so when is it also? So you didn't put them at the same time. First put in the tar, and then afterwards you put in the tame. So no, the other way around. Right, I'm sorry. You first put in the tame, and afterwards the tar. So the tame first emitted its taste into the soaking water, and then you put the tar one in. So immediately it's going to start being bolea from the tame water. And you should know that this is still true. The Tzinon, because of what it said in that prior Mishnah, which again, Mekavnaki relates this first Gemara in Halacha 8 to Halacha Dalet. The Ninan Omer made Truma Asur. If you put the olives in made Truma, it's Asur. How could it be? Right? It's it doesn't make a difference when Gemara is inferring from the Mishnah that it doesn't make a difference if you put in made Truma whether the Chulin olives are cracked or whole. Why is that? It must be, is it not when you were kovesh one after the other? So they made truma for their first. So at the time that the olives were being boleh, either shleim or being boleh before they started being poet, their boleh made truma. Here too, when the dag tami was pickled first. So then when you put in the doctor, even though shleim, first first it was bolea before it started being polate, and it was bolea isser. Okay. So that is obviously now why I put it before. So now we're up to the Gemara, which according to Chuliyama, Hamadaki, and the Vilna goes on the next Mishnah, and it's again, as I said, very famous Yerushalmi about 1960th. But that's very top of Tzaddik Hay, so we'll leave it for next time.